Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather briefing on Friday the 21st of January. Today's weather brief will cover information on the United Kingdom, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. But first we will take a look at the 5-day average West European map view, and between days 11 and 15 temperatures are generally forecast to be near or slightly below climate averages, particularly across central and eastern parts of Europe. And between days 6 and 10, a trend continues today for many parts of Europe to have temperatures generally below climate averages, particularly across central areas of Europe including France, Switzerland, Germany and Austria. And finally, within the short term, between days 2 and 5, temperatures are forecast to be generally near or slightly below climate averages, again particularly across central and eastern areas of Europe including Switzerland, Germany and Austria. Parts of France, Benelux and the UK are likely to have temperatures generally nearer to climate norms. And now taking a look at the United Kingdom in some more detail. And over the next 6 to 10 days, confidence levels are medium or perhaps medium to high to suggest that temperatures will be around 1 or 2 degrees below climate averages, given good forecast model agreement and consistency from the last few days. The following weather chart from Monday the 24th of January helps to illustrate this synoptic situation, and as you can see, a large area of high pressure is dominant just to the west of the United Kingdom. This synoptic weather feature is forecast to persist for the next 7 to 10 days at least, and as a result bring a rather benign and quiet spell of weather to the UK and other northwestern parts of Europe, with temperatures slightly below climate averages. Within the longer term, between days 10 and 15, given good model agreement, confidence levels are medium or perhaps medium to high to suggest that temperatures may drop slightly and become around 3 degrees below climate averages towards the weekend of the 29th and 30th. However, I still believe that temperatures will then recover into the opening week of February and become near, if not just slightly below climate averages, beyond the 3rd and 4th of February. And now taking a look at European temperatures. And over the next 7 to 10 days or so, there has been little change in the predicted temperature trends, with the majority of Europe forecast to have temperatures generally below climate averages. Mean surface temperatures across the UK, France and also down in Iberia are forecast to be near freezing, if not slightly below. However, across parts of Germany, Poland and other eastern and northern areas of Europe, mean surface temperatures are forecast to be below -5 degrees Celsius. Taking a look at the West European view 5-day averages within the 6 to 10 day time frame, you will note that all of the available forecast models for the individual countries signal temperatures to be below climate averages. As a result, confidence levels are medium to high or even high to suggest that over the next 6 to 10 days, temperatures will generally remain below climate averages across the majority of Europe. Within the longer term, as we move into the opening week of February, a similar temperature trend is forecast to continue. However, parts of western areas of Europe, including the UK, France and also Iberia, may see a slight warming trend with temperatures becoming near to climate averages. However, the remainder of Europe is forecast to remain generally cold with mean surface temperatures below freezing, and as a result, temperatures are forecast to be generally slightly below climate averages. The 5-day average temperatures within the 11 to 15 day time frame help to emphasise this prediction, and as you can see, parts of France, Benelux, the UK and also Spain are forecast to see a general rise in temperatures to nearer climate averages, yet parts of Italy and Australia, for example, continue to have temperatures generally below climate averages. The following weather chart helps to illustrate why temperatures are forecast to be below climate averages, as a large area of high pressure is dominant across the United Kingdom and also the northern areas of Europe. As a result, cold east or northeasterly winds are forecast to the south of these areas of high pressure, and hence the reason why temperatures are forecast to be generally below climate averages over the next 6 to 10 days at least. And now taking a look at the Scandinavian precipitation forecast. And the trend for the last few days continues today, with many western and northwestern parts of Norway forecast to have well above average precipitation totals over the next 6 to 10 days, with perhaps as much as 125 millimetres of precipitation. Elsewhere, generally below average precipitation totals are forecast to continue, particularly across southern regions of Norway and also Sweden. Little change is expected within the long term into the opening week of February, with parts of west and northwestern regions of Norway forecast to have precipitation totals near or slightly above climate averages, whilst the remainder of Scandinavia has precipitation totals generally below climate averages. And now taking a look at global weather alerts which highlight significant deviations from normal. And taking a look at South Brazil, there continues to be a trend for precipitation totals to be well above climate averages over the next 7 to 14 days, with perhaps as much as 125 to 150 millimetres in places, and particularly across the Rio Grande do Sul. Bitterly cold conditions are forecast across many central and northern regions of China,
with mean surface temperatures at least at -15 or -20 degrees Celsius, which is at least 6 to 8 degrees below climate norms. This very cold weather is forecast to continue at the moment throughout the remainder of January and perhaps also into the opening week of February. Further very cold conditions are also forecast to continue across many eastern and northeastern areas of the United States over the next 7 to 14 days, with mean surface temperatures at least 6 to 8 degrees below climate averages. There is now also perhaps a trend that into the opening week of February, some exceptionally cold temperatures may spread south from Canada, with temperatures perhaps dropping as low as -20 to -30 degrees Celsius across some northeastern states of the US. And in contrast, some very hot conditions are forecast across many central and southern areas of Australia over the next 7 to 10 days in particular, with mean surface temperatures at least 35 or 40 degrees Celsius, which is 6 to 8 degrees above climate averages.
Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.